Here we go. Honestly, I would be recording more replays right now if not for the Tezzeret bug, but that commander is, or that planeswalker is in so many of my decks, and shows up all the time and is instrumental to winning so often that any game I draw it and use it, I can't record no matter how good it is, because it'll just hang as soon as I activate Tezzeret. I've already sent in a bug report about it, so hopefully something will be done. But for the time being, we'll have to make do in games where Tezzeret does not make an appearance, and this happens to be one of them. Maybe I'll just stick to... oh, good, the commanders are back in replays. Maybe I'll just stick to decks that don't have Tezzeret for the time being, although this is one that does have it. I'm up against Sheoldred, and I am playing Edric, as you may imagine. I have to mulligan, and I think I'm going second, too. And this is a pretty terrible draw, honestly, minus the Chrome Mox, which at least gives me the opportunity to play turn 2 Edric, if need be, although I'm reluctant to throw away Nature's Claim, but it's actually one of the few cards you kind of always want in your opening draw, because it's Soul Ring and Mana Crypt Insurance. So good, and he does not have either one, so I'm going to feel fine about throwing away the claim. And then, to make that choice even more obvious, I managed to top deck Sylvan Library right off the top, so that's definitely... This is kind of like one of those total nightmare cards for control black. For mono black control, you just hate this. You have no way to deal damage, no way to get rid of it. Nothing really stops it short of something like Oblivion Stone or Nivenrol's Disc. Sinkhole. Ugh. Alright. Kind of sucks. But I've got Sylvan. Alright. Wirewood, Hivemaster, Remand, and Shackles. Normally I would keep all three. But against mono black control, especially with a deck like Sheoldred, I don't see Shackles really mattering a great deal. And I'd much rather pay the life for a more meaningful card. So I decided to just keep the Remand, put the Shackles back on top. And since I know I have the ability to reshuffle, I'm just going to stick with that. Remand is turn 2 play. Cast Scepter of Fugue. Whoa, is that the stack is like... Oh yeah, that's right, I'm sacking my my Delta in response. I'm going to take some damage off Breeding Pool and remand that back to his hand. I get a command tower, which is nice, and he follows it up with a strip mine, so I'm still, like, lost both of my tropical islands. Pretty brutal. Bird of Paradise, alright, that's good. 2 more fetch lands. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to keep 1, especially because these have a lot less value now that both the tropicals are gone, so I can only fetch forests with them, so I'm just going to keep 1 for the reshuffle. I mean, you know me, I'm definitely a big advocate of the sort of mindless take 8 every turn with Sylvan until you're about at 8 life, but there are certain examples where it's not correct to do that, and certainly this is one of those cases where you have plenty of land, and there's no reason to spend life to just pick up redundant forests or whatever. Black mana, Chainer's Edict, man, he is wrecking me pretty terribly in Place Thawing Glaciers. I'm hoping that's the last land in his hand. I can only fetch a forest. Muddle, Forest, Elvish Archdruid. I don't see the Archdruid mattering right now, so I'm just going to keep 1 extra card again. So I have no plans of playing that. I'm just going to play Edric here and hope that he doesn't have another land and doesn't have a 2-mana removal spell for Edric. And if that's the case, I can protect him with Muddle and pretty much go to town. I'm also thinking, anytime I play against mono black, I'm just thinking, how can I get Wind Orb into play? And Muddle is one of those ways. Shriekmaw, another 2-mana solution, and a land to go get his Thawing Glacier, so he's pretty set. Alright, what I'm really hoping here, he uses Glaciers also during his turn. So I'm thinking, my god, please give me a Mana Crypt, or a Soul Ring, or a Mox Diamond. Even Mox Opal would work here. Oh wait, I don't have Mox Opal, never mind. Chrome Mox. That would work, but I already have it in play. Come on, deck, deliver. Give me 2 mana sources. That's not one. Cyclonic Rift, Viridian Shaman. Not very useful. So I'm going to take another 4 damage here. Just pacing my hand here. Play this guy. Backed up by Muddle. I'm really not feeling very comfortable here. He's still got 6 cards in his hand. Now he's got 6 mana as well. What is he going to drop on my head? Visara. That is dreadful. Cannot be muddled. And now I can't put out Wind Orb either, even though he is tapped out. Putting out Wind Orb under a 5/5 flyer that kills your creatures at will when you're at 19 is probably not a great plan. I do have the Rift, though, so we can probably figure something out with that. Boreal Druid, Bloom Tender. Now that is a hand worth taking 8 for. Especially now that he's committed a big guy to his board. He's going to be a lot less reluctant to use a Wrath effect. And because both these guys are elves, I can get a lot of use out of the Hive Master plus the Cradle, so this is going to work out pretty well. So play the Cradle for 3. Alright, I've got 5 creatures out. And I elect not to cast the Boreal Druid because I want to keep Muddled and Cyclonic Rift for a disaster. I mean, obviously, I really am thinking Wind Orb here now. But I need to handle the Visara problem first. And I think a lot of people might actually Cyclonic Rift here, or at least do it at the end of the turn, depending on what he does. So that's kind of my game plan. So there's 7 mana completely tapped out, and there's Sheoldred. Alright. You would think it might make sense to Rift at the end of the turn, but we have bigger plans. And he does not use Visara, even though this guy makes 3, and this guy makes 2. Or this guy makes 1, I should say. No use on Visara, even though the Elvish Archdruid makes 3 mana. I guess he figures I have enough green with the Crypt. I mean, with the Cradle. Sack a creature. I suppose I could have cast Cyclonic Rift during my upkeep to take advantage of having 1 extra guy, but I figured that I'd rather see what I draw off the Sylvan first. Because, you know, there might be, who knows, there might be a Treachery or something, and I could Treachery Visara and bounce Sheoldred or something. And then go get Orb. Island. So there's the island I need. That's really important because I've got UU, 3 blue casting cost, and I get Soul Ring too, which is awesome. I'm going to put the Tree Speaker back and take another 4. Island. Can play this guy. This guy actually makes mana because of the Hive Master and the Cradle. Play Soul Ring. Blue. Rift. With Overload. And I have an additional, how many elves do I have in play? I've got 4 elves out now. So this makes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still have 9 mana remaining, which is just insane. Enough mana to play Muddle and Orb easily. And just like that, he scoops without even seeing my follow-up play. I mean, I think that might have been a little premature. I guess maybe he figured that if I Cyclonic Rift him and then I have enough mana to just tap Elvish Archdruid and play Edric, that I can attack with 3 creatures and draw. But that's really not decisive. I mean, he's playing mono black control. Clearly must have at least Damnation and probably Toxic Sludge or whatever in his hand. But nope, just a concession. Pretty cool. Nice way to wrap up that game after the early going where I got utterly land destroyed and wrecked and had nothing but a single creature in play versus a Visara. But that's the way Edric is, can quickly turn the game around. And I hope you like that. I've got a couple more to record, and they'll be showing up probably tomorrow. See you soon.